Good morning, and thank you everybody for coming to day 4. Can't believe it's the 4th day of our virtual summit on art, health, and innovation. And we like to start each morning with a relaxing meditation or movement practice. And we're so lucky today because we have the fabulous Adrianne who's going to lead us in our yoga. And I want to tell you, besides being an amazing yoga instructor, she is part of the Kids&Art Care Circle. And what that means is that she is a member of our family who has been touched by cancer in some way. And we like to offer our workshops to the children themselves, to their siblings, to their parents, and to the other people in their lives who love them and who are affected by this. And so Adrianne has been a part of our family for quite a while, and she's taught yoga for our parent group a couple of months ago, which was wonderful as well. So Adrianne, thank you very much for coming today and leading us.
Do you want me to go ahead with my intro?
Absolutely.
Okay. My name's Adrianne Angle, and I live in Southern California, and I teach yoga, among other things. I also practice a type of body work called restorative muscle therapy. And the reason why I got into healing work in general was because of my own health issues and physical injuries I sustained from playing soccer and running and doing aggressive things. Then I needed something to kind of calm me down and help heal my injuries. And that's one of the reasons why I got into yoga. And also for the kind of mind, body, and mental aspects of it too, it's kind of helped me with anxiety and depression. And I feel like that's one of the reasons why I decided I wanted to teach it, because it has helped me in so many ways, including with my niece Kira. So she was diagnosed with ALL, leukemia, in 2016, and she finished treatment in 2019 and is doing well now. But one of the things we did while she was in treatment was yoga, and we didn't know a lot of yoga, but we knew that we could roll around on the floor and make shapes with our bodies and just do things kind of that felt good to us. And so we also did like some meditation, and I also found other healing modalities like tapping and a couple things that we're going to do today, energy work. And so I've kind of been introduced to this whole world of healing that was really instrumental in not only myself coping with Kira's illness, but I think really helped her as well. So it's been a blessing for me, and that's one of the reasons why I went to yoga teacher training, was set so I could really learn more about it and learn to hopefully give the things that it has done for me to other people. So we're going to get started. If you have, this class is all about self-care, taking a moment for yourself, and if you have water with you, if you need a blanket, we'll be doing some tabletop positions. We'll be on our knees.
Oh, that is so cute.
Oh yeah, and if you could all mute yourself, I would definitely appreciate that. But then that way, if you need to get a hold of me, then you can. So that would be awesome.
Yeah, we'll be monitoring the chat, so if you have questions, we can pass them along to Adrianne.
And we're going to finish a little bit early so that it's time to set up for the next session as well. So we're going to get started. Again, I'm all about doing what is good for your body. So if we're doing something that doesn't feel good to you, don't do it, or find something that does feel good. We're going to do a little bit of flowing, stretching, a little bit of energy stuff. And so just take care of yourself and give yourself a little bit of love. So, okay, so we're gonna actually start on our backs. So come find a comfortable position on your back. And if you want to, I'm gonna do it as well. To turn my volume up, make sure. Oops. You'll be able to hear me. So take a minute to come onto your back. And we're not going to be here too long, but if you'd like to keep your knees bent and the soles of your feet on the floor, that's fine. If you want to lay your legs out long, that's fine too. And we're just going to bring our right hand onto our chest and our left hand over our belly button. And just take a minute here to breathe. And let yourself feel how your body kind of does the work for you, breathes for you. No effort is needed on your part. And then I like to think about a small balloon in your chest and a small balloon in your belly. And as your chest rises, when you breathe in, that little balloon blows up. And you exhale, and then if you breathe into your belly, you can feel that little balloon blow up. So just take a minute to experiment with that. I think we may still have someone that isn't on mute, so if you can mute yourself, that would be fantastic. So if you breathe into your chest and into your belly, and just experiment with that for a minute. So if you inhale into your chest and then into your belly, all in one big breath. And then out of your belly and then out of your chest. One more deep breath in, into your chest and into your belly, and then out of your belly and out of your chest. And then if you want to bring your hands next to your sides and make sure your feet are planted firmly on the ground, we're going to do a little bridge. So on an inhale, we're going to lift just our pelvis just a couple inches off the floor. And then lower and relax. And then again, inhale and lift, maybe a little bit higher this time. And exhale, lower down. And this time we're going to add a little flow to it. So if you, as you lift your head, we're going to lift our arms as well overhead. So your arms will lift quicker than your hips will. So it's a little bit of a mind-body coordination exercise. So if you inhale the hips and lift the arms overhead. And then exhale, lower the arms, lower the hips very slowly. And again, lift the hips, lift the arms. And exhale, lower the arms, lower the hips. Nice. Go ahead and bring your right knee into your chest and just give it a little bit of a squeeze. Go ahead and roll that ankle around. Some circles, some little circles. One direction, the other direction. Go ahead and lower that foot down. Bring the other knee into the chest. Roll that ankle a couple times in one direction, other direction. And then if you want to bring the other knee in as well, hug them both in, give yourself a nice little hug. And if you want, if it feels good to you, you can roll side to side, giving your low back a little bit of a massage. Releasing any tension that might be in the low back. And breathing, don't forget to breathe. And then come to stillness, bring your feet back to the mat. Put your hands actually on your thighs or on your knees and pull them back into your chest. And we're just going to do some gentle circles with our knees. So use your hands to kind of guide as if you're like painting circles with a paintbrush. So don't necessarily put pressure. You don't need to be pushing your knees, just kind of use them as a guide. And then go ahead and roll your knees the other direction. Warming up the low back and the hips. And then lower the feet to the ground and roll off to the side, kind of a fetal position. This is my favorite part of yoga. Just take your time. And when you're ready, take that hand that's in front of you and use that to push yourself up to a seated position. And just come into a cross-legged position. And go ahead and we're gonna just take our fingertips and tap a little bit underneath our collarbones. It's actually pressure point.
Let me get the I'm dumping.
You may need to have everybody make sure that they're on mute. Maybe just check your computer, make sure you're on mute. So take your fingertips and you can actually just tap even on your forehead and all over your head. This sends signals to the nervous system to relax. And actually it works the other direction too. If I'm like too low energy, the tapping also works to kind of wake up the nervous system. So it's kind of a nice little trick I've found for me to work with stress and overwhelm. And even if I'm too low energy, it seems to really help me. And it also helps to kind of like tell your lungs to expand. I get a deeper breath when I do that. And then bring your hands together and you can close your eyes. I like to close my eyes when I do this and just vigorously rub your hands together and really generate some heat. Push those hands together, rub them back and forth. And then for this next part, bring them to stillness. And I like to close my eyes if you're comfortable, if you're not, leave them open. And just feel the tingling and the energy on the insides of your palms. And take a breath. And then slowly start to peel your palms away from each other and bring your hands apart, but very slowly, like 1 centimeter at a time. And you may feel as if there's a rubber band or something in between your hands trying to hold them together. It's actually hard to pull them apart. And that's just the energy that you've generated. And continue to slowly pull your hands apart, out towards your sides. Just notice the sensations that you feel. It's probably different for everyone. Just brings awareness to a part of our body, which right now is our palms. Starts to feel differently as we pull them apart. And then slowly bring your hands, your fingertips down to your sides. Weird, huh? Okay, bring your hands back together, interlace your fingers, and we're just gonna make some circles, some actually like figure 8 circles with our wrists. We'll warm our wrists up a little bit for when we do a little bit of tabletop work. And another little brain exercise, switch the circles and go back the other direction, which is not easy. Always takes me a second. Nice. And bring your hands out to your sides. And we're just going to fold over our legs a little bit. So come forward, but only as far as you want to. You can just kind of keep your fingertips on the floor and stay fairly upright if you like. Or if you want to fold forward, all the way forward, that's fine too. Take a nice inhale here and exhale. One more breath here. Inhale, exhale. And walk your hands back up. And then bring them behind you and stretch back. So squeeze your shoulder blades together. You don't need to lean back very far, but just kind of think about squeezing the shoulders back and lifting the chest and opening the chest. And now try to take a deep breath into the chest. Hopefully you're starting to get a little more air, a little more space in there. And then walk your hands back to your sides and change the cross of your legs. So whichever leg was in front, you put the other one now in front. Whatever we do on one side of the body, we try to do on the other side. And then bring your hands back together and clasp them again, but this time put the opposite finger on top. So it should feel awkward. It should feel weird. And again, we're going to do circles. Figure eights. Bring up our wrists. And then go back the other direction. Not easy for my brain, but a good brain test. And then release the fingertips to the sides. And again, walk forward. So because the other leg is on top now, you might feel the stretch in a slightly different place. And if you want to fold all the way forward, that's fine. Take a deep breath. See if you can really get some air into your belly so that it's pushing towards your legs. And then slowly walk your hands back up. And same thing here, we're going to bring our hands back behind us. Open the chest, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and take a deep breath into the chest. And on your second breath, try to breathe into your chest and into your belly. Nice. Fingertips back to the sides. You're going to reach your left arm overhead. And if that doesn't feel comfortable, then just leave it to your side. And we're going to plant our right hand next to us and bend that elbow. And we're just going to do a little flow on either side, getting a little bit of a stretch, opening up the side body. Waking up the rib cage, all of the muscles in our torso. Just go at your own pace. Don't forget to breathe. This should also create more space in our rib cage for a deeper breath as well. Nice. Okay, when you're ready, we're going to roll over our knees and come into a tabletop position. So hands under the shoulders and knees probably hip distance apart. And once you have your kind of neutral spine, that's the other thing that's important about tabletop, is try to have a flat back and keep the back of your neck long. And we're just going to make some circles with our hips. So whatever size circle feels good to you. It can be really small circles. big circles, whatever works for your body. You can increasingly have them get bigger if you'd like. Get a little bit more movement. And you can really do anything here with your body that feels good. I mean, it might be just to, you know, swish side to side or lean back a little bit, lean forward a little bit. Anything that feels good to you. So if you were doing circles, let's just go back the other direction. And again, whatever you did on the other side, try to do going this way. Feel free to just adjust your body however you need to. And come back to your neutral spine. We're just going to do some cat-cow. So we're going to drop our belly and lift our chest and our head. Get a nice stretch in the abdomen. And then exhale, drop the head, arch the back. Do that a couple times. You can go at your own pace if you'd like. Inhale, lift the head, lift the chest, drop the belly. And exhale, drop the head, arch the back. And one more time. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest. You can think about lifting your collarbones as well, like shining your collarbones forward. And exhale, round everything down. And then go ahead and come onto the balls of your feet. And we're just going to get a little bit of a stretch in the arches and the balls of the feet, the soles of the feet. So lean back, lean your hips back as far as it is comfortable. So if it doesn't feel comfortable to put that much pressure on your feet, then just do what makes you just have a little bit of a stretch in the arches. And then come back up, flip the feet over and kind of tap the tops of your feet. And one more time, sit back on the balls of the feet. Come back up to neutral spine, flip the feet over, sit back into a child's pose. You can bring the tips of your big toes together if you'd like. You can spread your knees out a little bit farther and just fold down. And your arms, if your arms are not comfortable there, they can be at your sides or behind you. You can rest your forehead on the mat, and if you want, you can even kind of rock back and forth on your forehead if that feels good to you. And take a really deep breath. Try to really breathe into your belly, that belly balloon, and feel like your belly is going towards the floor. So deep breath in and out. And then bring your hands back forward. We're just going to walk our fingers over to one side. Again, if this doesn't feel good on your arms, on your shoulders, you can keep your hands closer to your face and your shoulders. If it does feel good to stretch in the shoulders and keep them out, you get a nice stretch on the outside of the body. And then walk your hands over to the other side. A nice deep breath into the side body, to the ribs. And then walk your hands back to the center. Bring them back under where your shoulders are and come back into your tabletop position. Knees may come in a little bit. We're going to come back onto the balls of the feet. And on our exhale, we're going to lift the knees just a few inches off the floor. So take an inhale first. And on your exhale, push into the balls of the feet and lift the knees. And lower. So we're going to do that again. So inhale. And exhale, lift the knees. Push into those balls of your feet and really engage the abs, engage your legs, and lower. And this time we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to push back into like a modified downward facing dog. So inhale. Exhale, push into the feet, lift the legs, lift the knees, and push back. And just walk your hands out a little bit if you'd like. Keep the knees bent, and we're just gonna pedal out the feet here. Your knees can stay as bent as they need to be. If this is not comfortable for you, you can stay in your tabletop position. You can stay in child's pose. You can stay seated. Whatever feels good to you. Just get a little bit of stretch into the legs. And then bring your hips back and then walk your hands, towards your feet. Forward. We're going to come into a forward fold. So keep your knees bent here and just let your upper body hang. So you can feel that your lower body is supporting you, doing all the work here. And your upper body is just kind of in a state of flow. So you can bring your hands to opposite elbows if you like, and we're just going to sway a little bit here. Keeping your knees as bent as they need to be. A bit of side to side. Don't forget to get your feet. If you want to keep your fingertips on the floor, that's fine. Go ahead and release your hands and fold in a little bit farther maybe if you can, and just release the head. So you can kind of shake your head, yes, shake it, no. Draw some circles with your nose. Just get a little bit of relaxation in the neck so that your head, we hold our head up all day, every day, except when we're sleeping. And this is a chance to kind of just let our head have a break. Okay. Scoot in the middle. So we're going to come up to standing now. So bend. I like to do a deep bend in my knees. Really push into the feet. Sit back. And then we're going to roll up very, very slowly, one vertebra at a time. Really use those legs, those quads, feel everything working. If this isn't comfortable, you can go more quickly. If it feels good, just come up very slowly. Take your time. Forget to breathe. Scoot over. Slowly as you'd like, till you come all the way up to standing. And so now we're in our mountain pose. So keep your feet maybe hip distance apart. And I like in this pose to think about stacking all my body parts on top of each other. So I like to stack my knees over my ankles, hips over knees, rib cage over hips, shoulders over rib cage, and kind of your head is perched on top. So when I think about it that way, it just helps me kind of create a really nice, tall, long spine. And I like to think about a line of energy all the way through my body. So shooting down into the earth, through my feet and into the ground, and then up above me, up into the sky, above my head. And I like to think about having a little, string or something pulling out the top of my head that really gives some length to the neck. So just play with that for a moment and bring your shoulders back, shoulder blades kind of squeezed back behind you, palms facing the front of the room. Knees are definitely bent a little bit. And just take a breath here. See if you can feel grounded, supported by the earth, and as straight as you can possibly be. Then go ahead and lift your shoulders and kind of squeeze them up to your ears. So take an inhale and kind of squeeze everything up. You can squeeze your hands too if you want. And then exhale and let the shoulders go, let everything go. Find a little bit more space in the body. Let's do that again. So inhale, lift the shoulders, squeeze the hands, close the eyes, scrunch the face if you'd like, and let everything go. Kind of shake your arms out if you'd like. I'm gonna lift my arms overhead. You won't be able to see my fingertips, but they're not really doing anything important. So we're just gonna lean with our shoulders down. So just make sure your shoulders aren't squeezed up. They should be down. And we're just gonna lean over to the right and get a nice stretch in that side body. If this is not comfortable for your shoulders, you can do this with your arms down. The action that we want is just kind of like the leaning to the side. So your arms can be wherever they'd like to be. And then go ahead and lean over to the other side. You should really feel some space in those ribs, a little bit of opening. Try to take a deep breath here. Probably feels a little bit constricted, but it's good for us. And one more time, lean over to right. Take a deep breath and exhale. And lean over to the left. Inhale and exhale. Come back to center, bring your arms down to your sides. Come out. We're gonna do a half sun salutation. So come actually, let's see, maybe to the top of your mat. So you have some space behind you. And again, you won't be able to see the tops of my arms, but that's okay. So just reach your arms up overhead if it's comfortable. And then bend the knees and we're gonna dive forward into our forward fold. And we're gonna half lift and find a flat back. So I like to put my hands on my shins. So find your flat back and make sure again that your neck is long, the back of your neck is long, keep your spine straight. And then exhale and fold forward and just let everything drop. And then inhale, root into the feet, bend the knees, and come all the way up to standing. And then bring your hands in front of your heart. And let's do that again. So arms up overhead. And then dive forward. Relax everything down. Find your halfway lift. Flat back. And fold forward, hang. And on an inhale, bend your knees and come back up to arms up overhead if it's comfortable, and bring your hands to heart center. Again, one more time, arms up overhead, dive forward. And this time we're gonna plant our hands on the mat, bend your knees. We're going to step the right foot back behind you and then lower the back knee. Scoot back a little bit. So if this isn't comfortable, you can be up on your fingertips. You can actually do whatever is comfortable with your hands. Bring the top of your foot to the mat. And if you'd like to wiggle kind of your left foot out to the corner of the mat a little bit farther, and your right knee out a little bit, it gives you like a better base of support. So once you're feeling strong and stable, you're welcome to stay here, and this should give you a nice stretch in the hip flexor and the right hip flexor. And if you'd like to lift your hands, come up, you can put your hands on your knees, on your knee, You can also lift your hands up overhead if you like, or you can do cactus arms. Just experiment with the arms. Feel really, really strongly into your legs and the connections that your feet and your right knee have to the ground. And then lower your hands back down. And then set the hips back. And we're going to come into a hamstring stretch. You can walk that foot back into your center of your body if you like. And just try to find a nice stretch here in the hamstring, not too much, but enough to get some lengthening in those muscles in the back of the leg. Take a breath. Don't forget to breathe. And then come forward. And then plant your hands, come onto the ball of your back foot, lean your weight forward, and we're gonna bring that back foot back to meet the other one. So come back into your forward fold. Hang here, knees bent. Find your halfway lift. Forward fold again. Breathe all of your air out. And root into the feet, bend the knees, and come up to standing. And then hands to heart center. Okay, let's do the other side. Arms up, come up overhead. Dive forward. Plant the hands, and this time we're going to step the left foot back behind us. So hands on either side of your right foot this time. The knee can come down. Top of the back foot can come down. You can widen your right foot if you'd like. Find a good base of support. And get a little stretch in the hip flexor on the left side this time. And then when you're ready, you feel stable, bring your hands up, put them on your knee. Bring them overhead if you'd like. Bring them back for cactus arms. Take a breath wherever your hands are. And then slowly bring them back forward. Plant them on the ground and then push your hips back to get a hamstring stretch. And I need to wiggle my foot back into the center a little bit more. You should really feel a good stretch in the back of the leg. Take a deep breath here. And exhale. Come forward. Plant the hands. Come back onto the ball of the back foot. And when you're ready, you can walk your foot back in, step your foot back in, however you'd like. Come back into your forward fold. Halfway lift, hands to shins. Exhale, fold everything, drop everything. Relax the upper body. And when you're ready, inhale, come up to standing. And this time, you're gonna bring the hands back to heart center. Shake the legs out a little bit if you'd like. And then again, hands up overhead, fold forward. Plant the hands, and this time we're going to step back into our tabletop again. Put the big toes together and come back into a child's pose. Your arms can be wherever they're comfortable, to your sides, behind you, in front of you. Lots of options. And bring your forehead to the mat again. It's more comfortable if the forehead's to the mat, if the arms are out to the sides or behind you. And again, take a deep breath here. Really think about your belly moving towards the floor on the inhale. And just notice if you have any more breath space than you did when we did child's pose a little bit earlier. Take another deep breath in and really feel if you can try to breathe into the outsides of your ribs, your kidneys, your low back. Kind of a different sensation to really try to push out there. You can actually put your hands there if you like. Just feel how that feels for your rib cage and your back to expand when you breathe. Take a few more breaths here. Put your hands wherever is comfortable. Just enjoy your child's pose for just a moment. And then when you're ready, come back up to your tabletop. We're going to walk the feet back behind you. We're going to come down to our bellies. So just lower yourself in whatever way is good for you. Keep your hands underneath your shoulders and keep the back of your neck long. We're just going to lift our collarbones, lift our chest, lift our head, but try to keep the back of the neck long and lower the forehead to the floor. Relax. And this time when we lift, we're going to inhale as we lift and squeeze everything. Use the backs of our legs, use our back, just try to use all the muscles in our body. So if you inhale, lift. If you'd like to, you can lift your toes a couple inches off the floor. If this doesn't feel good, you can just lay with your head on your hands and relax. If this does feel good, we're going to do one more. So relax everything down. Take a breath here. If you want to turn your head to one side for a moment. And then bring your head back forward. And on an inhale, lift the chest, lift the collarbones, back of the neck long. If you'd like to lift the toes up too, so you can go a little bit higher than we did last time. Really press into the hands and exhale, lower. When you're ready, we're going to push into our hands and push ourselves back up to tabletop. Walk your knees in. And we're going to come onto our back. So however you want to do that, probably the easiest way is to sit back and then turn over. Come lying on your back. You can keep your feet, soles of your feet on the floor. You can keep your knees bent. You can put a pillow under your head. You can put a pillow under your knees. You can lay your legs out long. Whatever you feel is comfortable for your body. Done a lot of good work, so now we get to rest for a minute. Actually, might want to keep my knees bent. So just kind of wiggle out your body a little bit and figure out what is a comfortable position for you that you can stay in for a couple minutes. If you want to stay seated, that's fine too. You don't have to lie on your back if it's not comfortable. And just take a couple breaths here. Put one hand on your heart, one hand over your belly button. Think about those little balloons in your chest and your belly. Close your eyes and see them expand as you inhale And exhale. And notice if you feel like you can give yourself any more breath, and if you're getting any more air into your body than you were earlier. Inhale. As much air as you can in, and exhale. And then go ahead and put your arms to your sides. I'm going to bring my legs out. You can spread yourself out as much as you'd like. And we're just going to take a moment here to rest. Close your eyes and think about something that you need, or that is good for you, or that you want to give to yourself, whether it's just some love or some compassion, knowing that you just spent a little bit of time caring for yourself. You should feel good about that. If you want to picture yourself in a place that is serene and beautiful, somewhere in nature, somewhere that calms you, that feels good to you. Give yourself whatever you need in this moment. No more effort, just rest. Start to deepen your breath. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Roll your wrists around, roll your ankles. And when you're ready, roll off to one side slowly. Take a deep breath and slowly push yourself up to seated position. Go ahead and let's just wipe ourselves down a little bit. Wipe our heads, wipe our faces, neck, chest, arms. Bring some energy into the body. Wipe our legs down. Tap if you'd like. Tap on anything. Pat yourself down. Give yourself a little bit of love. And I like to finish by doing kind of a virtual group hug and then a self hug. So put your arms out to the side, squeeze your shoulder blades down and back, and then bring your arms forward as if you're going to hug everyone that's on the call. Send some love to everyone out there, and then come in and hug yourself. Give yourself a nice squeeze. And breathe. And bring your arms out, back out. And this time bring the other arm on top, so the opposite hand that was on top. And again, big hug for everyone on the call. And bring it in, hug yourself. Yourself a good squeeze. Some love to everyone. And hands come to heart center in front of you. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. I hope you put a little bit of self-care in today. And hope you have a wonderful rest of the day. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you, Adrianne. That was amazing.
Thank you for joining.
Great way to start our day.
Hi, everybody.
This was amazing, amazing.
Hi, I'm Sejal and I used to be a volunteer with Kids&Art
Foundation. I'm now the operations manager here at Kids&Art. If you'd like a session, please do consider a donation or consider being a sustaining donor and help us with our mission, Art Heals, for all pediatric patients. Thank you.